In this video, I want to tell you something that you may have never clearly heard in your entire life. You are not the only one fighting. And more than that, you were never meant to fight alone. There is someone who has been here for a very long time, quietly walking among the ruins of your life, even before you realized you were falling apart. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But let me tell you the story. I know there are days you wake up feeling empty, wondering why you're so tired even though you did almost nothing the night before. You go to work, try to keep a normal face, smile where it's expected, nod when you're supposed to, but inside it feels like you're drowning in a silent, unnamed storm. And the hardest part? It's not the job, it's not the money. It's that feeling that you have to carry everything alone, that no one truly understands, no one actually stays. But here's the first secret I want you to know. There is a hand still holding on to you, even if you haven't noticed. And no, I'm not talking about blind faith or empty hope. I'm talking about a real presence that's been with you since before you were born, still whispering in your heart in those moments you almost gave up. Still there, when you're on your knees in the dark and no one else knows. Think back to the last time you wanted to quit. You thought you were collapsing, but somehow you still woke up the next day. You kept going. Who gave you that strength? Who held your heart together when it was ready to break? Maybe you called it resilience, habit, or numbness. But listen to me. God doesn't wait for you to call His name before He moves. He was already there, long before you ever knew the word faith. And you know what? There's an ancient story, not a legend, but a real piece of human experience, about a man named Elijah. He was a mighty prophet, able to call fire down from the sky, bold enough to stand alone against an evil empire. But just a moment later, he broke. He ran. He feared. He wanted to die. Sound familiar? Someone once so strong, now just wants to disappear. But instead of scolding him, God sent an angel, not to preach, not to rebuke, but to give him bread and water. God knew even the strongest warriors run out of strength, and sometimes what we need most is just a little nourishment. That's the second truth. God doesn't fault you for being exhausted. He steps in to restore you. But life has probably taught you the opposite, that only those who prove themselves deserve help. You've been trained to succeed, to push through, to always be strong before anyone offers love. But God is not like people. He loves you even when you have nothing left to give. He stays close to you, even when you curse, even when you walk away from church, even when you feel like nothing about your life is holy. Someone once asked me, if God really loves us, why does He let us suffer? It's a painful question, but a fair one. And here's something strange. God doesn't always keep you from the storm. He chooses to stand with you inside of it. Like Daniel in the lion's den, like the 3 men in the furnace. They weren't saved from pain. They were saved in pain. And that changes everything, because pain can shatter you. But if someone holds you in the middle of your breaking, you won't be destroyed. The third truth I have learned after years of being lost: the greatest loneliness isn't having no one around. It's being surrounded and still feeling unknown. You've probably tried to explain your pain to someone and watched them nod politely, and then you thought, forget it. I'll just deal with it myself. But God doesn't listen out of politeness. He listens to respond. He hears every sigh, even the ones you never speak. You don't believe in miracles. I get it. Life has mocked your hope too many times. But here's something you need to know. Miracles don't always look like cancer disappearing or lottery wins. Sometimes a miracle is just the fact that you're still here, still listening to these words, still breathing, with a heart that hasn't gone completely cold. That is a sign, a whisper from the one who's been beside you all along. You just didn't recognize his voice. Truth number 4, maybe this one will shock you. God doesn't need you to be strong to start again. He needs you to be honest about your weakness. It's only when you dare to say, "I can't keep going," that he begins to show the way. People often think you have to behave, to be righteous, to pray enough. Then God will listen. But if you look across the whole Bible, you'll see this. He always listens to the broken, the lost, the failures. He is the Father who runs to embrace the prodigal son before the apology is even finished. And here's a warning you may not want to hear, but I have to say it. If you keep living like you're all alone, you're going to collapse. No one, not even you, was made to carry it all on your own. The more you pretend you're fine, the more you're being swallowed up inside. Some battles cannot be won by willpower. They require grace. And grace will never show up if you keep pretending you don't need it. But let me say something bold. Your breaking point may be the doorway for God to enter. He's not intimidated by your mess. In fact, he chooses to dwell among the shattered places. Someone once asked, "Where was God when I was betrayed?" He was in your tears. Where was he when I lost everything? He was in the emptiness that no one else could fill, because he is the one who never leaves, even when you walk away from yourself. Truth number 5, faith isn't about emotional highs. It's about quiet persistence, like the shepherd who doesn't leave when a night falls. Even when you can't see him, he sees you. And he keeps walking steadily, not rushing, not forcing. He doesn't need you to run. He just asks for one step, even a trembling step, even if it's through tears. And if you've made it this far into the video, then maybe this message is for you. Not to become someone impressive, but to return, to stop fighting alone, to take the hand that's been reaching out all along. No rituals required, no perfect prayer needed. Just say in your heart, "God, if you're still there, please help me." And he will hear you, because he's still waiting, in the middle of the storm, in the ruins, right where you thought the end would be. You are not a lone warrior. You are a beloved child, even in the desert. And right there you will see God never left.